forest and the way a grown man remembers it are so different. He moved forward, bending his tall body nearly in half in order to enter the tunnel of branches. Though within a few steps, the roof of the tunnel rose in a gentle slope, and Ben could straighten to his full height of 6 feet. He was not yet 40, fit, and every nerve and sense he possessed was attuned to the night around him. As a boy, he and his brother had been out here 1,000 times, but never in the dead of night. Perhaps it was the distortion of nighttime as much as the questionable integrity of memory that made this all feel unreal and unknown. With unsure steps and a fluttering heart, he moved forward. The corridor of yews paid out into a clearing, and Ben stopped again to make sure he was going the right way. He began to raise his lantern for a better view. Crash! Something smashed through the dried bracken behind him. Ben spun and leaped to one side, his heart racing now, pounding on the walls of his chest. Something moved through the brush, invisible in the darkness. What the hell was this? Ben tensed to fight or run. One hand held the lantern out, as much a talisman as a light, and the other scrambled at his belt for his knife. It was a sailor's blade, 6 inches and sharpened to a wicked edge. As his fingers closed around it, he felt a fragment of confidence fall back into place. But still the thing moved through the shadows. Ben drew the blade slowly, keeping it behind him, not wanting the polished steel to catch light from the lantern. It was closer. The blade cleared the sheath, and Ben eased slowly down into a crouch. If he had to fight, then he would make a real fight of it. Closer still. "Come on, you bugger," he murmured, his fingers flexing on the handle to find the best grip. If it rushed him, he'd slash. Stabbing is a fool's move. The blade gets caught. Ben knew that quick slashes could fend off even a big hound or a boar. Suddenly, the thing burst from the bushes and drove right toward him. Ben growled in fear and fury and raised his knife. The creature flew into the spill of lantern light, and Ben fell back a step, a laugh escaping his chest. It was a pheasant. Plump and beautiful and indifferent to the big man with the wicked knife. It flapped past him down the corridor of yews. "Bloody hell!" Ben gasped and slammed the knife back into its sheath. "Bloody bird!" he called after it, and then to himself. "Bloody fool!" With a rueful smile and a shake of his head, he turned and found his path. But 10 steps deeper into the forest, his lantern guttered, the light dimming for a dangerous moment before waxing again as he shook it. Ben peered at it. The oil was almost gone. He had snatched up the first lantern he found and had not stopped to check the oil first. "You bloody fool," he said again. It was not the first time a hasty act had come around to bite him. Ben lingered for a moment, looking back the way he had come. As silence reclaimed the shadowy landscape, the night seemed bigger, darker, less familiar. Silence was like a presence. He could feel it watching him. "Are you out there?" he called. But without wanting to, he pitched his voice as a whisper. Silence answered him, but Ben still felt as if he was being watched, as if familiar eyes were on him. He cleared his throat and pitched his voice louder. "Come!" he yelled. "We have to talk." Nothing. The flame of his lantern flickered, and he realized that if he didn't find his quarry soon, the oil might not last and he'd be lost out here in the darkness. He looked up, and even through the dense ceiling of evergreen branches he could see a paleness like frost, the touch of moonlight on the trees. Ben nodded to himself. If he lost his lantern, he could find his way home by going to higher ground. That moon was bright enough to read by, and it had just begun its long hunt across the sky. He would have hours of light left if it came to it, and the hall only felt far away. Even so, the thought of being without light, even for a few minutes, was daunting. Ben squared his shoulders and took a steadying breath. On his first step, the